my name's Zoe Starkey and I'm the Regional Agriculture Land Care Facilitator for our region. Which sounds pretty fancy, but it's actually a really cool job. I get to talk with farmers, land managers, community groups and farming system groups to deliver our agricultural outcomes that will improve the sustainability, productivity and profitability, which means I get to attend field days, crop walks, farmers group meetings in and around our region, sharing information about up and coming projects and funding opportunities, also any other information that will help people farm in a more sustainable way. I live on a 5,500 acre farm near Canberra, SA. We have 800 merino sheep, crop wheat, barley, canola, lupins and grow oats and vetch for hay. This farm has been in the Starkey family for 5 generations, which is over 100 years. Technology and practice has certainly changed in that time, becoming more sustainable. For example, this is our air seeding unit, which is designed to put the crop in with minimal soil disturbance. To be farming on the same land for over 100 years, we need to look after the soil and the environment to make sure that for the next generation of Starkeys, they have the same opportunity of loving farming just like we are now. It's called sustainable farming. The word sustainable means looking at ways of making sure that natural resources last a really long time. Politicians, scientists, businesses and other important people and groups around the world are always looking at ways of making this happen by meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. In other words, we shouldn't use up everything today that people of tomorrow will also need. The decisions we make today can affect the future of tomorrow. Buying local Australian-made product is a great example of being sustainable. 1. You're supporting local businesses, which here in Australia have tighter rules and regulations regarding the environment and the sustainable production of food and fibre. 2. Less need for transport, which lowers the amount of fuel emissions released into the atmosphere. And 3. Generally, the product is of better quality. Sustainable agriculture is farming in sustainable ways, which means meeting society's present food and textile needs without compromising the ability for the future generations to meet their needs. Given the recent drought across most of South Australia, farmers have had to change the way that they do things, adapting to tough conditions. Many with livestock have built containment yards, like the one behind me here. This yard enables the farmer to lock stock up off of paddocks to prevent overgrazing and the risk of soil erosion. Containment yards also benefit the animal. Hay and grain is readily available, meaning that the animal doesn't have to walk as far or use as much energy, which in turn means they actually eat less to keep full. Another example of farming sustainability is the use of no-till equipment. Tillage is the process of turning the soil over 1, 2, maybe 3 times in order to control weeds before sowing a crop, which isn't a healthy practice for our soil biodiversity. No-till equipment keeps the bugs in the dirt happy and helps preserve soil moisture. Also, the stubble makes for a good windbreak, preventing wind erosion. Behind me is an example of a oats and vetch hay crop that has been inter-road sown with no-till equipment between last year's wheat stubble. You too can be involved with sustainable farming. Say you want to cook a Sunday roast for Mum and Dad. Head on down to the local Saturday morning farmers market or local fruit and veg store and purchase some potatoes that have been grown in Notill, SA, a butternut from Wakery, broccoli and cauliflower from Anglevale, South Australia. Now for the roast lamb. Pop to your local butcher shop or grab a locally grown leg of lamb, perfect. Buying local fresh veggies and meat is not only sustainable but great for the environment and local economy. Now, any leftover veggies, straight to the chooks, or even your compost bin for your garden. Leftover roast meat is great on sandwiches for school the next day. Sustainability comes in many shapes and forms. The main thing is to remember that we, us, you, want to leave things better than we found them, to make sure that the next generation has just as much fun and opportunity as we have.
I'm Ryan Starkey.
And how old are you, Ryan?
This one.
No. And what are you going to be when you grow up?
Shearer.
Okay.
And a seeder.
You tell them about farms.
You have soil in the crops and make the grass grown, and you have to seed it every day. With the seeder, and we have to put some soil in it, and we have to do lots of stuff with your crops and just do some hay baling.
You say bye.
Bye.